Hi there, I'm Alex D, and this time I will try to somehow restrain myself from, telling about myself and my current situation, and actually do some stuff. While my previous video is uploading, it's probably not a good thing that I decided to go with it anyway. Whatever. What I want right now is, well, firstly, I usually, since I'm a more experienced person at this point, it used to somewhat bite me in the ass, but then again, modeling practice is, it's kind of important too. The thing is, I might spend several hours making textures and models, porting them from the game, that is, only to find out that the animation set I want to use is, well, it's not decompiling properly, or it has some clipping issues because the models don't exactly match or whatever. Yeah, currently what I want to do is make a Mosin for the pump action shotgun slot using Denny's Insurgency Sandstorm port. He made it for the sniper rifle, but he actually made the version that reloads several individual rounds, despite the rifle having a straight bolt handle and the scope mounted forward, much forward, on the rear side, basically, on the Picatinny rail. So yeah, I'm basically going to make a regular Mosin, not a sniper version, for the pump shotgun, which reloads individual rounds by basically chopping the animation in several pieces. Yeah, at this point I'm not going to touch the model yet. I basically have everything ready, model-wise at least, not textures, so that's gonna take some time. Okay, it's processing, might as well close. And this one. So yeah, where's my 3ds Max, import L4D2, Mosin Denny. I'm looking for Mosin. Mosin ins SS for Sandstorm. Yep, that's it. So what I want to do with it now is to copy this original QC. Those are the source files that Denny sent me. That's very useful to actually have, because yeah, I don't have to worry about it decompiling improperly when it has some sort of inverse kinematics or weird stuff with delta animations, which sometimes they just outright refuse to get fixed. So yeah, usually when I see a _idle_1 in the animations, it usually indicates that I am going to make it. If I need to, I will be able to fix it. And if it doesn't have it, if it has all sorts of TA trans down, TA trans up, TA downs neutral, this kind of stuff, but not a_idle_1, this means that there are a lot of animations that subtract from each other, complement each other, and all of that, and it just doesn't decompile properly with this thing that Crowbar uses, MDL decompiler by I don't remember who, but the thing is, if you see a lot of animations like that, then you're probably gonna have a bad time trying to fix it, trying to figure out how it even works. The thing is, I've barely animated myself, so I have no idea how this is supposed to work. So what I know is my basically trial and error experiments, some of which work, but not all the time. So in this case, having source files is your best bet. If you fail to decompile something, then try and ask the author of the animation port, or the animation's creation, of course, to send you the source files, at least for SMDs and QCs and all of that. Not actual like Blender files. However, if you're an animator yourself, you might as well find them useful if you want to change something in them, which I am not, so I don't really need them. Anyway, Mosin shotgun. Now let's open this in Notepad++. It doesn't matter which text editor you choose. It might as well be a default Windows Notepad, but yeah, this is probably your best bet anyway. Everyone and their grandmother uses Notepad++, so will we. Okay, I don't I don't remember the file names for the shotguns. It's probably V shotgun and V pump shotgun A or something like that, but better safe than sorry. So let's see our recent mod we did. I did. It's pump Paisus here. Turok 2. I was wrong. It's V pump shotgun and V shotgun chrome, but the world models are, I think, what I said. Where's Turok? In here. Yep. The W shotgun and W pump shotgun A. So, consistency. Anyway, yeah. So let's just copy this thing and we'll keep this thing open because we'll need to keep the animation order exactly like this one. It goes look poses, idle row idle, reload layer at the beginning, reload loop and layer, end layer, deploy layer, fire layer, melee, and helping hand and item hand. So yeah, that's a bit different from this thing. Okay, I don't know. Let this be pump shotgun, the regular one. The chrome shotgun is just error skin, and it uses its own sounds now in TLS since TLS update. Yeah. So what do we want now? We want to look at the sequences. Look poses idle. That's completely fine. Then we go with reloads, which is also fine because yeah, it has 3 reload parts, so we'll work on that. Let's add some space over here. Reload, then deploy. VM deploy layer. Deploy layer. Perfect. Then a single fire animation, fire and fire layer, fire, yeah, primary attack and primary attack layer. Perfect. AWP, yeah, has a single fire animation, unlike say SG 552 or MP5. They have 3 firing animations, so gotta look out for that. Make duplicates and stuff. Then we have melee. I'm not sure how melee is pronounced, so forgive me on that. Not googling that. Yep. And then helping hand and all of that. That's perfect. So we don't even need to change anything. We just need to chop the reload animation to count its what is the deal with this number? Why isn't it just 90? You know, things like this, they're like itching me real bad. So okay, back to reloads. You know what? Let's just save. Open in Explorer. Close this one. Open this in Crowbar and just press compile, just to see if it's if everything's all right with the source files anyway. We won't see the textures, but we don't need them right now. So what do we have here is, as I said, a Emosin, which has its rear sight replaced with a Picatinny rail and a monoscope installed on it. I mean, it's Insurgency Sandstorm. Also, it has a bolted-on rail with is it a Harris bipod or Parker Hale? I'm not sure. Probably Parker Hale is the one that's on AW series of sniper rifles, and this is a Harris. I might be wrong, so yeah, I'll just shut up. Anyway, straight ball handle. It's not bent down like this one. Yeah. So yeah, it cannot accept a scope right over it because yeah, the bolt handle just would bump into it and not do anything good with it. So the reload animation, reload layer. Let's enable IK. Ooh, something is happening. Okay. Yeah, it's a good thing that those joints are not visible in the first person. I mean, some people will, of course, well, like me currently, see that, or maybe they are playing with some sort of FOV that allows them to see this shit, and those people are weird, so we won't care about them. Anyway, yeah, I've ticked those two things. Let's see, reload. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so it just repeats itself. So what I'll need to do is choose one of them. Doesn't matter which one actually, because they seem to be identical. Make it for loop. Reload end and reload start. This is where it's actually more interesting. Let's see what the deploy looks like. The deploy is, yeah, it's weird actually. I mean, whatever. Okay, hand animations are, well, they are actually hand animations. That's cool. Melee, it's a quick stock bash, which looks great, at least from this side. This ought to be sped up a little, I think. Not gonna look great, but oh well. Yeah, okay, whatever. So enough talking. Everything works all right, at least for the original animation. So I am going to show you something that might let us decide on the length of the reload animation. So where is the shotgun? Okay, let it be chrome shotgun, doesn't matter. View model mode, some bigger FOV, idle. Let's load weapon, and by weapon I mean arms, which is weapons, arms. Let's load those arms. They are actually quite great after TLS update. Disable the attachment so it doesn't piss us off. Enable IKs, and let's see, a reload layer. It's fast, right? Let's enable normal mapping so that the arms of Zoe aren't as shiny. Reload layer is this quick first shell loaded animation. It's rather quick. I mean, it's as quick as every subsequent shell animation. I even have L4D anim. Fuck off. Alright, pump and home, they are identical animation wise, unlike say Benelli and Spas, which for some reason the Spas 12 actually reloads slightly faster than the Benelli, so consistency again. Anyway, there is a reload and reload layer, and I'm not exactly sure which animation is used. Well, definitely not this one, because this one is slow. This one is fast, as is this one. Well, this one even looks even faster, I think. Okay, I don't know, but yeah, so it's 20 frames, 40 FPS, and layer the layer sequence has 50 FPS, but it reloads for 15 frames at a video I recorded at 30 FPS. So it's the same as if it's reloaded for 20 frames at 40 FPS, which means what you actually see, what actually tracks down the reload time anyway, is reload and not reload layer. However, then comes reload loop, which has 20 frames of animation at 30 FPS, but it reloads exactly as fast as the previous one, which means the layer animation of reload loop is actually what gives it its timer. It's confusing, right? I don't know either what any of this actually means. The thing is, the first shell loading and every subsequent shell loading take exactly the same amount of time, and the reload end, it doesn't matter, because there is no pumping animation, which deprives you of your ability to shoot, unlike in Left 4 Dead 1, where the shotguns actually had this as their feature, which kind of makes them more balanced, I guess. The thing is, those two animations take half a second to play. To make it consistent and not to confuse ourselves, we are going to make them half a second, both the regular animation and the layer animation, and let the game decide which one it actually plays, whatever, honestly. So, my point with all of that, let's open our Mosin again. Let's select view model mode. Let's increase the FOV to like 90. Yeah, let's increase it to 103. I usually do that. Anyway, I'll slow it down so we can actually see what's happening. We open the bolt, we load the round, yeah, 5 of them, and then close the bolt. So what I'm thinking right now, I've already did this before, I think I'm going to make the first shell load into a simple bolt opening animation, because it takes a while. Otherwise, what we'll have to see is the character quickly opens the bolt, presses one round into it, and then slowly loads every other round, and it will not actually look great. And then he calmly closes the bolt when the reload end animation plays. My intention is to have half a second for the bolt opening, half a second for every shell loaded, and then for the final animation, one more shell is loaded, and then the bolt is closed, so that, for example, when you shoot one time and reload, you get the bolt open. This is the first shell loaded. The shell is already loaded, so you are now at full magazine, and then the animation of actually loading a round into it plays, and you close the bolt. That's not gonna look as fast and choppy as the actual inclusion of the first shell in the first half a second animation. It's gonna not look great, trust me. So yeah, now we just need to figure out which frames to use. For that we'll select the simple reload, not reload layer, because it plays sounds, and also it's hidden because it's let me see, it subtracts a idle 1, it's delta, so it's like yeah, it's one animation minus the other, or one animation plus the other. In this case minus, because it's subtract. Yeah, the thing is, it subtracts the idle animation. The idle animation is like that, and the reload animation, it's done somewhere over there. So basically your character hand opens the bolt somewhere over there, loads the rounds, and then closes the bolt. That's how it looks. And when you add the idle animation to it, it actually looks like it's united together. It's done for aiming up, down, walking animation, and all of that crap. So unfortunately, it's a pretty painful system to work with. It's not perfect, and especially on decompiles, it breaks a lot of stuff and just doesn't look right. In this case, we also have IK rules, so it's a good thing that I actually have the source files, because I would fucking hang myself if I had to absolutely work with it. Anyway, let's start the interesting thing. So we won't need the first person. Well, unfortunately, yeah, the fingers, they just don't look great, but yeah, that's what I have at this point anyway. Yeah, now we just need to figure out where their load starts, where it ends. I think this is the frame that begins to grab the round. So it looks like a small spike, you know, you see the bullet showing between the fingers. Which one is... Yep, that's pretty much the same frame. So the first one we open the bolt, move our hand elsewhere, and this is the final frame of this animation, and then it begins at 44, but we want to end this one at... I'm not taking that. I am not taking that. I am busy, and also I'm not taking any phones. Okay. Reload loop. Frames from 0 to 43. We probably don't need any fade in, fade outs on the non-layer animations. However, I just talked about non-layer animations will not be exactly something wrong with the code of the shotgun reloads. So we'll just we'll treat both normal and layer animations as well. As equals, I don't know. Then again, reload layer plays sound, reload loop plays sound, and reload end plays sounds. So timing be damned, but sounds are for the layer animations, sequences. Yeah. So frames from 0 to 43, and we need to have this animation played for half a second. So we basically just 43 multiply by 2 and we get 86. So instead of 89, 99999, we get almost the same thing, and it's 86. 86. Okay. Okay. Also frames. These frames are also going over there. So what's happening over there is this event that... How am I supposed to manage sounds here? This is gonna be interesting. However, if you remember on the deploy animation we have the bolt pull for cool reasons, I guess. So we might as well replace the deploy sound with bolt back and pump sound with bolt forward, or vice versa. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, and weapon AWP, weapon scout. That's interesting. Anyway. Yeah, in third person the rifle will still be held like a shotgun and pumped like a shotgun. So after a firing effect, the pump sound will play. So what do we want to play after the fire sound? A bolt back or a bolt forward? We want to play a bolt back, probably. So yeah, pump would be a back sound. So let's just copy this one. Shotgun chrome pump. Place it over there. Let's keep it chrome, actually. Let's keep it chrome. Because it's easier to then remove the word chrome and get shotgun than vice versa. So yeah, let's compile this one for the chrome shotgun first. You know what? No. Maybe at some other point. So it's shotgun pump, okay? And bolt forward is going to be deploy. So it's shotgun deploy, okay? Here's the bolt forward. I hope, at least. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so it says frame 16. Frame 16 is bolt back. Well, it doesn't lie. It starts at frame 16, so it's gonna play the pump sound. I'm gonna just remove these ones, remove them all together. I don't really care for those, actually. Fade out 0, so that fade out is the thing that blends it with idle animations. So, for example, you need to in this case, you want the fade out to be 0, so that when you pull the bolt back, it doesn't try to blend back into idle and actually stays there. It doesn't blend anywhere. For the loop animations, you don't need any fade in, fade out, because it will just loop. And at the beginning of the reload end, you also need fade in at 0. I'll remind me to do this later, so that it doesn't try to blend from idle and play it like that. So yeah, if you understand me. So what does it do? It plays one sound. It then creates a flying casing, which makes sense. I'll keep it that way. Then at frames we no longer have in this particular reload animation. It plays a bunch of reload sounds and ends. So yeah, we'll just do this thing. We'll copy this entire thing, paste it over there. Now it's gonna be reload loop, and we need adjacent if I'm pronouncing this correctly anyway, activities. Okay, fade in, fade out is not necessary. We need loop. Same here. Crap. Loop. We need to rename. Doesn't matter which name it is. What really matters is the activity names. They are hard coded. They absolutely have to be the ones that the default thing uses. Okay. Shotgun Chrome. Let me delete that. Actually, okay, where's our draw animation? Let's see the draw animation. How does that look? At frame like 30, yeah, frame 30, I'm going to delete that. Why comment things out when I already have it in a different text file? At frame 30 it plays the bolt opening sound, which is shotgun pump in my case. Shotgun pump. Hey, it's not actually a bolt pull, it's a brass check. The casing, the rifle round does not actually fall out. So yeah, it's just a brass check. That's cool. That's cooler than I thought. I thought that was you know, unnecessary cool bolt action, but yeah, the character is just checking if there is a round in there. Here it is. If you can see it, here's the round. It does not actually get ejected, and it gets back into the battery. So at frame like this one, we are playing shotgun deploy, which is bolt forward in our case. I'll have to also replace the sounds. Yeah, I already feel this is going to be fun. What are those? What are they there for? Probably for closing the bolt and readying, but I'm not using those. Well, not this one at least. I'll just comment this one out. Maybe no, I don't have enough sounds for that. I only have deploy, pump, and shell load. The shotguns just don't have enough sounds for that. So yeah, we'll do it like that. Also, how many frames? 113 for this one, and it plays at this exact FPS. It takes exactly 1 second to ready pretty much every weapon in this game. So here's the correct FPS. And layer FPS, it doesn't usually matter. Well, it's not a big difference anyway, so yeah, whatever. Okay, back to our reloads. We already figured out this frame that changes everything. It's 44. It's 44. We can actually choose any of those round loading animations. It doesn't matter which one we take. Yeah, we'll need to count them anyway. So let's just go with the first one, the 44th. 44 frames. Frames 44, and we'll need to find this identical frame and subtract 1 from it. Oh. $89, or maybe 90. 89 it is. How many frames is this? 89 minus 44, it's 45. It's 45 frames, which is almost like this, but the thing is, now we need to play it at 90 FPS. It pretty much retains the same FPS as the original AWP replacement. That's cool, actually. That's actually pretty interesting. What's even more interesting, however, is remind me to go back and delete this thing, or we'll have problems at some point. Yeah, frames. These we should copy over there. Yep. We don't need those two events anymore. Events are interesting. Events aren't just frames of this particular animation. It's this frame is now frame 0, so we need to play this sound not at 71st, at 71th. Is it 71st or 71th? 21st century, so 71th, 70. Fuck it, 71st frame, right? Right? 1th, блядь. 27. So at frame 27 we play. So at frame 27 we play shotgun shell load thingy with this one. Right? Except not Chrome in my case. Just places the round in there. At frame 71, he begins to touch the receiver, moves the hand away. At frame clip in, clip locked, those are just two alternative sounds for loading the shells in the original AWP replacement. That's kind of cool, actually, except, you know, it's not cool to replace the scouts sounds. You do you. Anyway, let's keep it this way. This is almost perfect. We've already done the loop animation. We've chosen the frames. We made it loop. We made it at the correct FPS. We need to save it now. Now, what we have remaining is reload end. Reload end layer, reload end. Instead of loop, we add end. Instead of loop, we write end. Doesn't matter if it says OM reload end layer. OM is AWM is Arctic Warfare Magnum, and AWP AWP is Arctic Warfare Police. Arctic Warfare Police is actually a black AWP thingy, which is something that I made. Nope, not here. Can't see it. Nope. it has a black stock anyway, and yeah, it looks like this basically. It's has a black stock, a slightly shorter barrel than the normal Arctic Warfare, and it's chambered in 762 by 51 NATO or 308. So yeah, the AWP is well, from the gameplay perspective, from the game balance perspective, is basically the same as the Scout. It has a 10-round magazine, it has 762 rounds. The Arctic Warfare Magnum is actually the more powerful version. It has a 5-round magazine in real life. So yeah, there's a lot of injustice done to this rifle series in video games, unfortunately. Whatever. At least the animation knows that it's actually used to be in Arctic Warfare Magnum. Okay. Anyway, reload end. Now we just need to okay, the final frame of this animation looks like there is a small gap over there. The round is kind of lined like this. We'll probably see the change, the sudden change of the position, like this one, in the final animation. Here's the change. Here's the sudden change. So from frame 268 to 68 frames 268 locking the bolt, and until the final one 330. Those are our frames for the reload end. Yep. Now brain farts, sorry. The sound effects, right? Now we have okay, so shotgun shell, we don't need that. Clip locked is load shell. Clip in is load shell. Load shell. Load shell. Shotgun deploy at this frame, and this one doesn't matter. So at frame 286, we are supposed to grab the bolt and start sending it home. Yep, that's exactly what happens. And at that point we play shotgun deploy. That's cool. We have something terribly wrong over here, because we need fade in and fade out instead of loop for the end animation. Except this time we need fade in being 0 and fade out being, well, 0.2. 0.2 is by default. Yeah. So 286 minus 268. It's frame 18. At frame 18 it plays shotgun deploy, it begins to move the bolt forward. Fade in, okay. FPS. Okay, let's see. We begin with 86 FPS, loop with 90, and let's make it 88. Something in between, right? Ooh, and save. And we should be done. We should be ready. Ah, no, we're not. I told you to remind me about this, and you didn't. Because I can't hear you. This is not a stream. We'll just delete every event that is out of bounds that we don't really need, and it won't let us compile actually. So yeah, what we have here is shotgun pump and eject a casing, a rifle casing, which is correct even for our shotgun replacement. We are going to have it eject rifle casings. Everything looks correct over here, looks fine over there. Shotgun shell, draw, pump, deploy, FPS, fire. Oh my god, look at this. What kind of a long float is this, and why? More importantly, anyway, we are probably going to change that, because how long does it take for a shotgun to fire and pump? 1 second. Let's see the firing animation. Pew. $86. It has 86. I'm guessing we'll have to see it in game, because I don't remember how long it takes for a shotgun to rechamber. Probably 1 second. We'll see about that. Okay, 86 for the regular animation, and as you can see, yeah, the bolt is moving, the bullet is like over there. The same amount of frames, because yeah, it's the same animation. It's fire SMD, except this fire SMD has subtracted idle animation from it. So it's 86. Let's just make it 86. And no, let's keep this long float over there. Fire layer is going to have 86. Fade in, fade out. Let's make it snap. It's already snap. It's not the kind of snap that I want. I usually I comment out snap and make it fade in 0, so it fades out nicely but snaps to firing when it recoils more. Yeah, like that. Anyway, there is a lot of particle effects, custom particle effects that I do not really care for anymore. I just remove all of them. Yeah, keeping the default muzzle flash and shell ejection at frame 45. So shotgun pump is the bolt back, and shotgun deploy is the bolt forward. This one is just an extra sound, so I'm gonna remove that. Melee, I'm not sure. They are hard coded, so it's not important which FPS they play at, unless you want them to. This is too fast, if you ask me. Well, this is too slow. It plays at 50. Let's keep it that way. It plays at 50. Let's keep it that way. What about those animations? They are supposed to be. It has 9 frames. It plays at this rate. It's by default it's 20 frames at 30 FPS, so it takes this amount of seconds to play. And we have like how many? We have 9 frames. We have 9 frames. 9 frames by this is 13 and a half. And here we have this amount of why 13 and a half. 13 and a half. We also need to check out for it to have fade out 0. It doesn't matter for non-layer usually. Snap, loop, doesn't matter. Okay, fade in, fade out, doesn't matter. Here, loop, we have a loop here. Doesn't matter the amount of frames or FPS, absolutely not. And retract kind of doesn't either, but the first one, the extend animation, is, well, it kind of is. So yeah, let's replace this weird number with 13.5. Что ж такое? Alright. And save. And save. We've pretty much done most of the stuff. Let's compile it. Let's compile it. Let's keep the default model. Well, default as in this one, as in the one from the source files. Okay, idle, enable IK, head turn. Let's see, we have now more animations. We have loops, ends. We have the walking animation. We're gonna check that out as well. Alright, so reload layer. This is how it begins. We open the bolt, it's pretty fast. So yeah, imagine that, and also a loading of the first shell is gonna be insanely fast. It's gonna look stupid. By the way, this is what I forgot. The final shell. The final round. Okay, whatever. We'll get to that in a moment. Reload loop. Oh, might work on that. I don't exactly see it without the textures, but I think there is a follower. The magazine goes back to empty, so I might want to take a looping animation from somewhere in between this animation. Yeah, this is not a hard thing to do. We won't have to calculate which frame we want the sound to play anyway, because they are basically the same. And reload end, yeah, it's just closing the bolt. I need to add one final round and close the bolt. Yeah, that's what I need. And for this one, I'll have to actually recalculate the frames for sound events. Okay. Damn it. Since I fudged up. Oh, I might as well just not compile it again. I don't want to. I'll just compile the original file instead. It's for AWP. It has a full reload animation, so let's just compile it. So it doesn't override our pump shotgun. Here we have the sniper AWP. Let's use it in view. Close the viewer over there. And view our AWP. Here is our AWP in the hands of Alice this time. Let us look inside the receiver and try to figure out. We might as well disable textures and choose something more wireframe like. Let's slow it down to like 25%. And play the reload animation. We open the bolt. Oh, I'm looking for it from the wrong side. Okay. Yep. So let's see. The bolt is open. The magazine is empty. 1 round. 2 round. 2 round. 2 round. 2 round. Closing the bolt. So the first shell is loaded into the empty magazine. Here's the follower only holding 1. Here's the it holding 2, and then kind of repeats when you no longer see the exact amount of rounds in it. So unfortunately that means that I either actually make the first round loaded as part of the first run loaded animation, or make it just appear out of nowhere. In this case it's gonna be preferable than this kind of animation, fast and twitchy and not cool. So this is a sacrifice I will have to make, unfortunately. So not this one, because yeah, this I'm supposed not to take the first shell and not the second, because the second shell is loaded on top of one. So when you load the next shell again, the second shell disappears. It goes back to only have one round in the magazine, and you load the second one basically. So it's gonna look stupid as well. So the bolt is open, the magazine is empty, then suddenly 2 rounds appear and you load extra rounds into it. This is how this mod is going to look like. This is the best I can make with these animations. So let's go back somewhere where we can actually judge. Might as well select textured. Stop the animation. Okay, so open the bolt, pick up the first shell, the first round, load. The magazine now has 1 round. Picking up the second round, the magazine has 1 round. Loading round number 2. The magazine now has 2 rounds. Picking up the next one, loading. Basically at that point we still have 2 rounds in the magazine, because we just don't see deep enough inside the magazine to be able to tell how many there are. So we might as well 135. Loop. Instead of this, we have 135, right? Not 34? Nope, not 34. 35. Yep. 35, and this many frames. Let's calculate, just in case. 89 minus 44, it's 45 frames. So let's see. Let's add to 100 this. Anyway, it's supposed to end at 180. Let's see what if it's true. 180 is already the next one. It's fine because it loops, and it when it loops, it actually repeats the same frame. So yeah, this is fine. This is fine. We still have our FPS at this location. We're gonna keep this sound playing at the same frame in relation to this beginning. This is frame number 0 for the events. So we just fixed our reload loop, I hope. Reload, and we are going to slightly extend. It's not gonna be just closing the bolt. It's gonna start at frame number 225. 225. 225 here. So if this plays at a frame, if I remember correctly, 286, let's open the original file, right? And see our sound events on the reload. Reload. Here. Yeah, 200 and bolt forward is 286, and the final shell load, the final round is at this frame. Why? What? Something is wrong. This obviously is earlier than this frame. Ah, no, nothing is wrong because I haven't changed the frames over here. Now we have the correct frames. I also want to use the shotgun shell sound event, and change those frames now. 251 minus 225, 26 at frame 26, just like this one basically. Almost. Not a big deal. 26, yeah, and deploy is minus 225, 61. Save. Play at the same FPS. Everything is normal over there. Close. I don't need that, by the way. And compile. Now we should have gotten something which hopefully is gonna work. Why is this AWP? I didn't want to compile AWP. I wanted to compile the shotgun. Let's compile the shotgun. Done. Pump shotgun. Okay. This is our reload end animation now. The character loads the final round and closes the bolt. Why? It's because, well, you start the reload by just opening the bolt. It takes half a second. It's already too long for the time constraints that the default shotgun give us. So yeah, this is what we're supposed to work with for online compatibility, at least. I might as well make it slower for offline play, but why bother? It's a minor thing, and making slower weapons for solo play or hosting games with your friends, not exactly great. But anyway, yeah. So you open the bolt. It looks empty. It happens fast enough so you don't really see it. But then you have rounds in it, and you add more, like forever, or at least until you go up to 8 anyway. You load rounds one by one. It loops quite nicely. It just shows rounds inside of it. Probably 2 of them. Probably you can make 2 of them. Then you load the final round, which you didn't load in the first shell loading animation, because you have to compensate somehow, unless you want to I don't know, you shoot once, you pull the bolt back, yeah, and then you have 7 rounds in your magazine and you decide to reload. You open the bolt and you just close the bolt. Which animations are kind of slow in that regard? I think strifers. Some of the mods on strifers animations suffer from this problem, where it just takes a while to place your shotgun and then start loading shells. So to the point that if you shoot once, you just do that and pump the shotgun without loading any shells, which is suboptimal. It kind of works, but yeah, some people they have those sorts of itches, yeah. They just have OCD or whatever, which isn't gonna work. So in this case, it's almost perfectly fine. Time to test it in game, anyway. And how do we do it? We close this. T2 shotgun. Let's no, not exactly. Let's close this, so we don't need this anymore. What do we want is I haven't made a working folder for this mod yet, because yeah, I wasn't sure if it's even gonna work, but as you can see, it works. So let's take a random wooden shotgun mod over here, rename it to Mosin. Okay, it's gonna be Payday 2 Mosin because I already did the raid one, and no, I'm not gonna take the ones from Red Orchestra 2 or Rising Storm 2 for now. They have sniper scopes, and I would rather make sniper variations of them because they have a really cool scopes which aren't seen every day. In this case, I'll just take the Payday 2 Mosin. It has two skins. Yeah, it has a wooden stock and it has a synthetic plastic polymer black stock. Anyway, might as well make it a skin too, which is gonna work. And just replace the pump shotgun model over here. Let's keep everything else, but delete the textures, right? Delete the textures, and Payday 2, I think it's called Nagan. Mosin, Nagan. I'm not sure which barrel length I'm going to use for this one. We'll decide about that later. From Payday 2 on Insurgency Sandstorm, a NIMS ported by Danny and Company. Really, nobody reads that, so okay, that's it. That's enough for our testing. Pack. Wooden. Yep. Okay, now I want to get rid of the Turok shotgun. Unfortunately, and let's see in game if our shit actually works. I'm not sure if you can see the game right now because my action recorder, it's recording in screen mode, which you probably do see full screen. I want to, for now, I want it to run in windowed, no border mode. Okay. So, Tumtara or range or Tumtara, it doesn't really matter, but yeah, might as well start range because it looks cooler. Okay. Here's our this is a
shotgun
world model, so it doesn't matter. We don't have any textures yet. I'm not here for the textures. I'm here to. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. You've actually fixed the button. I kind of thought that something was missing, but whatever. It kind of worked. So yeah, we have a shotgun version of this thing. So yeah, we now play two sounds. Okay, it kind of works.
Ammo here.
Yeah, it's exactly 1 second basically for. Something twitchy is happening with this animation. I'm not sure why, but
Ammo.
maybe it's because, you know, this idle noise glitches out somehow. So I might wanna disable it for the load animations at least. Other than that, I consider this
Ammo here.
a success. Oh, it has a reset button. Well, that I didn't know. Oh. Ooh. It resets the score. Yep, it just resets the score. Okay, cool. So this is how it's supposed to look like. Okay, whatever. Yeah, that's fantastic. Sometimes this animation glitches out, mods or not. It's just left for dead. You know. All right, so might have to remove subtracted idle from the reload animation, but other than that, I consider this a successful port of a sniper rifle to a pump shotgun slot. So this is something for the other video where we finally get to actually work on the models and textures. Right now we have pretty much working animations, and we can finally start. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.